Squirm. Okay.
Step into the wild side of the culinary world, where danger meets tradition. Some foods are so risky they've been outlawed, while others spark outrage for their controversial origins. From shocking ingredients to jaw-dropping preparation methods, we're uncovering the most forbidden and controversial dishes ever served. Brace yourself, your appetite might never be the same again. Tuna eye. Ever thought your sushi might stare back at you? In Japan, tuna eyes are a full-blown delicacy. Yep, those giant golf ball-sized eyeballs. Cooked in soy sauce and ginger, the outside gets chewy while the center turns into a gooey, rich bite, kinda like seafood bone marrow. It's all about respecting the fish by wasting nothing. But in the US, it's strictly banned over ethical concerns. Some call it weird, others call it genius nose-to-tail dining. Either way, would you dare to slurp this oceanic eyeball? Hit the comments, I need to know. Fermented shark.
Itself, that if it's no skin, then it's just there is never nothing added to this meat in the process. You see how smoothly it's cut.
Squirm. Okay.
Brace yourself. This one reeks, literally. Iceland's hakarl, aka fermented Greenland shark, isn't just food, it's an endurance test. First buried beneath sand and rocks for months, then air-dried, this fish becomes a funky, ammonia-soaked cube that smells like a mix of death and cleaning products. Even celebrity chefs have gagged on it. Despite the health risks and its nauseating aroma, it's a proud Viking tradition. US authorities strongly discourage trying it. But honestly, would you even dare put this in your mouth? Or does your nose wave the white flag first?
The thinner pieces, and under here we have the fillet itself, that if it's no skin, then it's just then the meat just basically stretch. You don't want it too hard, and not. Here we have a piece of the fillet. In the drying, the piece has this dried crust around it. There is never nothing added to this meat in the process. You see how smoothly it's cut, and then you take this here.
Thank you. Squirm. Okay.
Turtle trouble. What if I told you dinner could wipe out an entire species? Sea turtles, majestic and ancient, are still hunted in some cultures for meat, jewelry, and clothing. Despite being critically endangered, their numbers are plummeting, forcing the US to slam down a complete ban on capturing and consuming them. Conservationists worldwide are fighting tooth and nail to protect them, yet demand stubbornly persists in parts of the world. Hopefully, these ocean wanderers can dodge extinction, because losing them, that's a tragedy none of us can afford to swallow. Cobra heart.
Oh, yeah. You see that? Look. You see that?
How far would you go for a thrill? In Vietnam, ordering a cobra heart is the ultimate dare. You choose your snake, and seconds later, bam! Its still beating heart drops into a shot of rice wine, ready for you to gulp down while it pulses. Hardcore, right? And if that's not wild enough, you can chase it with shots of bile, blood, and venom. Locals swear your stomach acid neutralizes it all, but still, this is definitely not your average happy hour. So, would you take the shot or chicken out?
It's alive. So when it's alive, it tastes like quite similar like a chicken. Oh, yeah. You see that? Look. You see that? See the skin. That's Vietnamese way.
Bloody breakfast.
There's some oats maybe of some nature. It's got quite a distinctive taste to it.
Where he got that from, I do not know. It's probably been passed down generations, even from 17th, 18th century when the monks brought black pudding.
Morning, folks. How about a breakfast made of blood? Meat black pudding, a British classic made from pig's blood, pork fat, and oats, fried to crispy perfection. Sitting proudly next to bacon and eggs, this blood sausage has been loved for centuries for its rich, savory punch. But here's the catch. Health experts are raising red flags, linking it to bowel cancer due to harmful microbes and preservatives. A tasty tradition? No doubt, but maybe, just maybe, Skip the blood sausage and double down on the toast instead.
Lived a long life eating black pudding, so I know what it's all about, and it's really, really tasty. And a breakfast isn't a breakfast without a black pudding.
There's some oats maybe of some nature. It's got quite a distinctive taste to it.
It's been in my family for all my life. It's my granddad's recipe. Where he got that from, I do not know. It's probably been passed down generations, even from 17th, 18th century when the monks brought black pudding.
Maggot cheese. Ready for cheese that bites back? Meet Casu marzu from Sardinia, infamous for containing live maggots wriggling inside every slice. These tiny larvae break down fats, turning the cheese into a soft, creamy, pungent masterpiece that's intense and peppery. But the US says absolutely nope. Why? Because eating food with live insects could lead to allergic reactions, intestinal issues, or worse. The FDA's strict ban hasn't stopped food daredevils from hunting it down. But trust me, this isn't your average charcuterie board treat. So, would you try a cheese that literally moves, or are you tapping out? Fugu. This isn't dinner, it's a gamble with death. Meet fugu, Japan's deadly pufferfish that carries a toxin 1/200 times deadlier than cyanide. One wrong slice, and it's game over. Only chefs with years of training are licensed to prepare it, and even then, accidents happen. In the US, importing and serving fugu is locked behind tight regulations, and only a handful of places are approved. It's a luxurious bite for adrenaline junkies, but a reckless risk for anyone else. So, here's the real question. Are you daring enough to taste danger, or is this one fear factor you'll skip? Green fairy. Some drinks get you tipsy. This one had folks seeing fairies. Absinthe, the infamous green fairy, was once banned in the US and Europe for allegedly causing hallucinations. Blame thujoni, a compound from wormwood believed to mess with the mind. Spoiler, it doesn't, at least not anymore. Modern absinthe is regulated, keeping thujone levels low enough to be safe, but its mysterious, scandalous past still lingers every time someone pours that neon green shot. It's perfectly legal now, but sip carefully, because the line between sipping with style and chasing hallucinations is thinner than you think. Haggis.
In the hunts of old was that they would actually kill a beast as a group, then they would butcher it on the spot. Butchering on the spot is essential for a couple of things.
Want a meal so intense it's banned in the US? Say hello to haggis, Scotland's most legendary dish made from sheep organs, oats, and spices, all wrapped in a stomach casing. But there's a twist. US food laws slam the brakes on it because sheep lungs are off limits. Health concerns over contamination during slaughter mean no authentic haggis on American menus. Hardcore fans have tried to remake it using other meats, but purists say it's just not the same. So, would you bite into this centuries-old dish, or are you sticking with something less lung-heavy?
In the hunts of old was that they would actually kill a beast as a group, then they would butcher it on the spot. Butchering on the spot is essential for a couple of things. One is actually the beasts are really heavy and hard to carry, but the second thing is that you remove the offal from the beast.
Sweet dreams. Dessert that literally knocks you out? Enter lazy cakes, gooey brownies loaded with 4 milligrams of melatonin per bite. These sleepy snacks exploded in popularity, promising stress relief for just $2. But here's the catch. Kids started getting hospitalized after munching on them, sending parents and the FDA into a panic. The problem? Slapping a sleep hormone into a dessert with cute packaging was a regulatory nightmare. By 2011, they were pulled from shelves. Turns out, bedtime snacks that double as sleep aids aren't such a sweet idea after all. Still craving a bite? Or nah? Egg embryo.
So what am I holding in my hand?
You're holding Balut duck egg, also known as Philippine Viagra. Opening it, you're gonna see, this is where we start talking about the different layers. The whole egg yolk separated, and then this is the duck.
Okay.
Street food roulette doesn't get wilder than this. Balut, a fertilized duck egg with a partially developed embryo, is a crunchy, chewy, soupy bite popular in the Philippines and Vietnam. Crack it open and boom! There's the beak, feathers, and little legs staring right back at you. Locals swear it's packed with protein and flavor, but animal rights groups say hard pass, leading to its unofficial ban in the US. It's one of those foods where knowing what it is makes it 10 times harder to eat. So what's it gonna be? Crunch or run?
Well, this looks like a regular hard-boiled egg. So what am I holding in my hand?
You're holding Balut duck egg, also known as Philippine Viagra. Opening it, you're gonna see, this is where we start talking about the different layers. The whole egg yolk separated, and then this is the duck.
Okay. And you can start peeling off the shell to get at the yolk.
Ant caviar. Tiny eggs, massive flavor. In Laos, Thailand, and Cambodia, ant egg soup is a delicacy made with white ant eggs, partial embryos, and baby ants. Sounds wild, right? But locals swear the eggs burst with a lemony tang that's surprisingly delicious. Despite its tasty reputation, you won't spot this on US menus. Health regulations say no thanks to bugs in your broth. But if you're up for an edible adventure that crawls right past your comfort zone, this dish proves that sometimes the weirdest ingredients create the most unforgettable flavors. So would you dare slurp a spoonful? Or nope? Ortolan crisis. A dish so secret, diners cover their heads in shame. Or tradition. Meet the ortolan bunting, a tiny French songbird once served as a luxury delicacy. Captured, fattened, and roasted whole, it's eaten under a napkin. Some say to trap the aroma, others say to hide from God. Sounds dark? It is. With their numbers plummeting, France banned catching and eating ortolans in 1999. Still, black market dining persists, pushing this fragile bird closer to extinction. Now France is cracking down hard to save them. Will these birds sing freely again? Or vanish forever thanks to humanity's appetite? Ackee alert. Delicious, deadly, or both? Meet ackee, Jamaica's national fruit with a sinister side. When ripe, it's buttery, nutty, and delicious. But eat it too soon and hypoglycin A, an intense toxin, can trigger Jamaican vomiting sickness, seizures, or even coma. That's why the US bans fresh ackee, only allowing carefully processed canned versions. Caribbean markets carry it, but only after toxin removal. Ackee is a perfect reminder that nature doesn't always hand out free lunches. Sometimes it hides danger behind vibrant colors. So, would you risk the ultimate taste of the islands or stick with something less life-threatening? Banned oil. Once a flavor icon, now a forbidden ghost, sassafras oil, famous for its rich root beer-like taste, was a beloved ingredient until the FDA slammed a ban in the 1960s. Why? Its main compound, safrole, was found to cause liver cancer in lab rats and linked to miscarriages. Food shelves said goodbye, but sassafras didn't fully disappear. It still stars in perfumes, soaps, and even some medicines. Proof that while flavors fade from plates, they often linger in unexpected places. So, next time you sniff something sweet and spicy, could it be a whisper of this outlawed oil? Foie gras. A luxury bite wrapped in controversy. Foie gras, made from the fattened livers of ducks or geese, is celebrated for its buttery texture, but condemned for its brutal process. Birds are force-fed until their livers swell unnaturally large. California, New York, and Illinois banned it, calling out animal cruelty, though underground sales persist. Some chefs are now exploring ethical, force-free foie gras, hoping to keep the flavor without the suffering. It's a debate where taste, tradition, and ethics collide on one very expensive plate. So, would you savor the luxury, or is this one indulgence you'd leave behind? Redfish rebound. This fish went from dinner table to endangered, then back again. In the 1980s, redfish, also called red drum, was nearly wiped out along U.S. coasts due to rampant overfishing. The government hit pause, banning commercial catches and slapping strict limits on recreational fishing. The gamble worked. Today, redfish numbers are thriving, but the rules still stand. Size limits, daily caps, and catch and release zones. It's one of America's biggest conservation success stories. Proof that when we give nature a fighting chance, it delivers. Just remember, respect the rules if you want redfish on your line, not on an extinction list. Flavor enchantment. This little bean smells like heaven, but it's banned in the US meat tonka beans packed with magical hints of vanilla, cherry, and almond. Sounds perfect, right? Not quite. They contain coumarin, a compound linked to liver damage and blood thinning if consumed in large amounts. That got them booted from American kitchens in the 1950s, but chefs worldwide still swoon over them, using them in secret for desserts and cocktails. Meanwhile, tonka lives legally in perfumes, soaps, and incense. Sometimes the most enchanting flavors are also the most forbidden. Would you sneak a taste or play it safe?